So the next section is layers. And we're going to talk a little bit about like build performance, which is not something you have to worry an enormous amount about. But I will tell you that like while you're developing this app, every time that you change a file, Docker notices that a file inside of the project is changed, right? So let's say I decide, you know what, this should run on 5,000 instead of 3,000, right? And I go in and change that. Now if I run Docker build again, it's going to go to the point it's like, okay, this didn't change, 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 this didn't change. Oh wait, here, this line, copy, this line. Because the file system is different, it takes like a quick hash of like what it looked like before. It's like, oh, they changed something, so it's going to start from this instruction right here, right? So these ones, it just uses all the cached layers from before, right? I showed you those numbers. It just starts here, but what's annoying about this is that it'll copy this over, and then what does it run immediately after that? npm install, which takes a lot of time, uses bandwidth, and it's wasteful, right? Wouldn't it be nice if we could just run npm install and then do the copy? Well, that's kind of the idea here with layers, is if you think about things in like the proper order, right, then you can leverage this caching to be able to take advantage of the fact that this is cached. So I'm just going to do this in the same project right now. There is a layers, but this is relatively the same thing, so I'm just going to stay here in the more complicated node project. So here in workdir, then we're going to come in here and we're going to do a copy here first. So we're going to do two copies. I'm going to say copy --chown node :node, and I'm going to copy the package lock.json and the package.json to here, right? You have to put the slash, let it know, like put it in the directory, right? Okay, then I'm going to run npm CI, and then I'm going to do everything after that. I'm just going to say copy node period, right? And I'm going to get rid of this. Now this made this a little bit more complicated, but now anytime I change one of my files, it's going to keep that cached layer of npm installs, right? So just to drive home my point, I'm going to do docker run build, or docker build, right? So it's going to run the CI one first, right? Because it hasn't done that yet, because I just changed the order of all that stuff. Now let's go ahead and change this. I changed this to 5,000. Let's change it back to 3,000. Previously, it would have done the npm install again. But now if I just do this and do it again, notice it just skips right to the copy at the end, right? And that rebuilt really fast.
And is that because package lock or package.json did not change?
Right. I didn't change anything in package.json or package lock. As soon as I change something in there, then it'll run that step again.
So it already knows it's kind of conditional upon that,
Yep.
that command.
Right. It assumes like if nothing changed, then this is
Valid cache.
right. It's a valid cache. You'll get a cache hit. That make sense?
So the order is really important.
Very. Yep. Because it's like an onion, right? It's building layers on top of layers on top of layers on top of layers. That's how Docker containers work. It's really clever when you think about it, right? Because it's repeatable. So the one concern with this, right, in particular, if like your CI system is maintaining a Docker cache, many of them don't actually for this reason, is that what happens if there's a security patch, right? So like, let's say I'm looking here at my package.json, I have happy 18.4, and let's say 18.4.1 comes out, right? If I do an npm install right now, I will get that, right? Because this is a relative version here. That's what the caret means. But I'll have that cached Docker layer that it won't pick up that because it's not running npm install again, right? So in that sense, you can get a stale cache from that particular perspective. It usually only affects you in development, and like I don't really care if I get a security patch when I'm running it locally. 99 or 999 times out of 1,000 probably. So, but it's just something you should know that might be happening to you.